Tibetan disappear? About 5,900 years ago, along the Yellow River in what is now northern China, a group of people spoke a single ancient language. Then they split. One group moved east, another moved southwest, crossing snow-covered mountains and ascending the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau. Over thousands of years, their languages drifted apart. The eastern branch became what we now know as Chinese. The southwestern branch, shaped by the winds of the plateau, became Tibetan. This isn't folklore, it's science. In 2019, a team led by geneticist Jing Li at Fudan University published a study in Nature. They analyzed nearly 1,000 core vocabulary words across 109 languages in the Sino-Tibetan family. Their conclusion: more than 400 languages, including Chinese, Tibetan, Burmese, and Qiang, share a single origin. This ancestral language, which linguists call Proto-Sino-Tibetan, began to split around 5,900 years ago, most likely in the Yellow River Basin. That's the first layer of the story. The second layer, about what happened to Tibetan itself, is just as compelling. You might assume that a language spoken primarily on the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau by roughly 6 million people would struggle to survive in the age of smartphones and AI, but the opposite is happening. In Xizang, a Tibetan language AI large model has reached a scale of hundreds of billions of parameters. It can understand all three major Tibetan dialects, Weizang, Kangba, Anduo, and speak them back with accurate pronunciation. Its training used approximately 28.8 billion tokens of high-quality Tibetan language data. In Qinghai, the Pandita Tibetan language software system, powered by a team-developed multilingual AI model, now supports real-time two-way translation between Tibetan and Chinese, and between Tibetan and English. It even works offline and can handle multi-person meeting translations. There's even a Tibetan language search engine called Weizang. Think of it as the Tibetan equivalent of Baidu. It serves users in more than 90 countries and regions. People use it for research, for study, for reading. The law is backing this up too. On July 1st, 2026, China's new law on the promotion of ethnic unity took effect. Article 15 explicitly states, "The state respects and guarantees the right to learn and use the spoken and written languages of ethnic minorities, and promotes the standardization and digitalization of these languages." Nearly 10,000 new Tibetan terms have already been officially standardized. Whether it's contemporary concepts like zero waste city and carbon sink economy, or internet slang like metaverse and finger heart, Tibetan now has standardized ways to say them. New words, new concepts, new realities. Tibetan now has the vocabulary to express them all. But the most fundamental place where Tibetan survives isn't in a lab or a law. It's in the classroom. Across Xizang, Tibetan language classes sit side by side with Chinese language classes in the school schedule. Children learn Tibetan grammar. They read Tibetan classics. They write essays in Tibetan and post on social media in Tibetan. In Xizang's primary schools, first graders start by learning the 30 consonants of the Tibetan alphabet, just as naturally as a Chinese child starts with A, O, I. Some people ask, is learning Tibetan still useful? For these children, it's their mother tongue. It's the language spoken at home. It's the language their grandparents tell stories in. It's the language of the songs they sing when they dance in a circle at festivals. It has never needed usefulness to justify its existence. The children sitting in these classrooms may never have heard of the nature study on Sino-Tibetan origins. But what they do every day is exactly what keeps a language alive in the mouths of the next generation. Languages don't die when new words enter them. They grow stronger because they can say more. Tibetan began its journey 5,900 years ago in the Yellow River Basin. It climbed onto the plateau and became the voice of a people. Today, you will find it in the classroom, in the conversations of herders, in the AI on the smartphone. Generation after generation, it continues, not because anyone is trying to save it, but because people are still speaking it.